We're going to do X, Y, and Z. He wasn't a CIA plant or anything like that. He flew through it. The sixth thing that happened. The event was covered in the press, but however, no official government document was released from it. The final report from SCT or DGAC, which is Mexico Aviation Authorities, has never been released. Never. You can't get it, right? This is a fact. They studied it, they investigated it, they made a report, they buried the report. You can't find it. You can't find it. The Aviation Authority report, they have it. You can't see it. Now, eyewitnesses, radio controllers spoke about the event, but no known recordings of the transcripts can be found, right? Can't find it. All that stuff has been scrubbed, locked away under lock and key. There is one place that has this information. Supposedly, there is a library down there in Acapulco where this took place, where they maintain these archives. And in order for you, even to this day, to get access to this story or to this archive, you have to write this library a physical letter requesting it. It's the same thing with the Vatican. If you want to access the archives in the Vatican, you have to be granted permission. And you have to write them a letter. No emails or anything like that. I just thought that was weird. You have to write them a letter. And so I couldn't even find the library to go and write this letter up to do it. I looked and I looked and I looked. I do know that, I don't know if you're familiar with Mr. Ballin. Mr. Ballin actually said that he wrote him a letter and was able to get access, and he flew somebody down there and they read the transcripts as well. And the transcripts say just everything, basically what I just told you there in this story. Again, very strange, very strange, very strange. But again, something happened. Something happened to Rafael. Something happened. And again, at this day and age, we know that UFOs or UAPs or drones, we know that they're real. We just don't know what they are. Mexico has always been more open-minded about reporting UFO. Matter of fact, every country but the United States of America has been open about letting people know about UFOs, UAPs, and things of that nature that happen. But for some reason, the United States of America, we always like to keep everything hush hush and under the books. I don't really know why that is, but well, I do know why that is, because satanic forces are being exposed right now, and that's why they want to do it. Now, my closing thoughts on this before I wrap this up, everybody, is that I'm going to give you what I think it is. The more I study and more I read these encounters or these stories that come forward, I used to be all in on the UFO extraterrestrial phenomenon. But the people I've talked to on my show and the people that I've heard their stories, there is seriously some type of spiritual element going on with these beings, whatever they are. Interdimensional angels, demons, whatever you want to call them, whatever name you want to wrap around them, there is a spiritual aspect about this. I will cover, I think they live in the earth. The Bible, I think they live in the oceans and in the earth. You can read the book of Revelations, and it says several times in there, those who live on the earth, those who live in the earth, those who live in the ocean. They've come out, and I was outside the room when the admiral said it. They're in the oceans, right? So I don't think that they're coming from these super far away places to visit us. I think they're already here. I think they've been here before us. I think they're the mighty men that's referred to in the book of Genesis at the very beginning, or some types of, also too, back in the day, I think, when people saw these beings or interacted with them, they were the angels, they were the demons, they were the Nephilim, they were the interdimensional stuff. Lack of a better word, let's call them, they're not us. These things, whatever they are, they're not us. They are not our friends, period. And I get into it a lot with people, but I tell you, the people who do experiments on rats in, laboratories, they're nice to those rats until they jam them with a disease and a needle. That's the same way I look at whatever these beings are towards us. Some of them might be openly hostile to us, like I think the ones that are on my page a lot. I just got off my shadow ban with Instagram, so I got to be careful what I say. They're openly hostile to us. The luge farmers, or whatever that word is, the loge farmers. But the rest of them, they're just indifferent. They don't care. They're not supposed to be messing with us. I'll tell you that right now, and they'll pay a heavy price for that. I do believe that, that God and Jesus, when he said that he gave the earth to man, the earth is ours. They're not supposed to be messing with us. They're not supposed to be doing these things that they're doing. But they're not our friends. And I've talked to people, and I've heard enough stories on here, and I've heard people talk about, oh, they're here to help me. They're not here to help you. They're not. If they're here to help you, then they wouldn't come to you when you were sleeping and abduct you. They would come knock on your door and they would talk to you. You don't kidnap what you're trying to help. Period. You just don't do it. Even when I think the Fire in the Sky story, I'm doing some research on that. Travis Scott, I think was his name as well. In his story, he said he got too close to that aircraft, that he was in the woods, and it hurt him, and they took him away and they healed him. But during the whole time, they didn't talk to him. They just dropped him off outside of a gas station. If they helped him for a reason, but if they were really there to help him and talk to him, they would have explained to him everything it was. Hey, look, this happened. We're here. We don't mean you any harm. This is it, period. But they can't make that contact with us because they're not supposed to be doing this. Whatever they're doing, they're not supposed to be doing it. So anyways, I think that more than likely, and again, I've been hearing it for years, these aliens telling people to stop messing with nukes, stop messing with nukes. Why would you tell a 19-year-old kid doing a solo flight to not mess with nukes? Like what's he going to have to do with anything to do with that, right? And again, I get it. Some people say, oh, they were using that to, broadcast, to the air traffic controller. Then take over the girl who's doing that 8 o'clock news and speak through her on live TV, right? This felt to me like it was some kind of test, some type of dry run, and it worked. I don't think that we were involved.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.